Welcome to the Jim Florentine Comedy Metal Midgets podcast on riotcast.com. Make sure if you shop at Amazon, go to my link at jimflorentine.com, click on the Amazon button. You could shop from there. Upcoming comedy tour dates this week, June 25th through 27th, Magoobies in Timonier, Maryland. July 10 and 11, Stitches Comedy Club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. July 23 to 26, Funny Bone, Omaha, Nebraska. August 8th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut, with Rich Voss and his wife, Bonnie McFarlane. August 21 to 23, South Point Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada, with Bobby Slayton and Lenny Clark. September 19th, Kings Point Renaissance Center in Kings Point, Tennessee. And October 8th through 10, Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. All right. This podcast this week originally was going to be a podcast that I was going to record on stage last Wednesday when I was out in California at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Me and Dean Delray, who does a great podcast called Let There Be Talk, we usually do a comedy show and then we do a podcast in front of the crowd. We had Joe Rogan with us, and we also had Brian Redband on the stage with us, and all four of us were going to do a podcast, but the crowd was so crazy, and there was this one girl that I know was actually heckling, but in a good way. And her and Joe Rogan were going back and forth so much that it was so crazy with four people on the mic that it wasn't going to be a good podcast to listen to. Like, if you were there, it kind of would have been okay, but it was just, me and Dean decided, like, it just wasn't. And we ended it, like, after, 20 minutes because it was just, the crowd was just nuts. And we thought we could sit there and talk comedy and talk whatever and just fuck around, but it just didn't happen. So instead, there's an interview that me and Dean did. Dean has a local radio show that we did. So me and Dean, we took some callers and we talked about hard rock and metal and comedy and all that shit. So that'll be the podcast this week. And, yeah, whatever. I mean, you know how it is. So check this out. And then the podcast, a band called Armored Saint just put a new record out. They've been around for a long time. John Bush used to be the singer in Anthrax for a while. They got a new album called Win Hands Down on Metal Blade Records. Really good if you're into metal. Check it out. We'll play the title track from at the end of the podcast. And next week we'll get back to the anger and the rage, without a doubt, whether it be Facebook posts or awful baby names or CrossFit Part 2 or slang words or license plates. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but there will be rage for sure next week. All right, so check this out. Me and Dean Delray, funny comic if you're in the California area, just doing a radio show and just shooting the shit back and forth. All right, check it out.
Yeah, what's happening? Another episode of Bitchin' here. Thanks for tuning in. We got Christian Spicer has returned. He was here last week, of course, with Tracy Guns. And then we have a very special guest, our metal master from the East Coast, Mr. Jim Florentine, one of my good friends. Say hi to him.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, how are you, dude?
All right. How about you?
Oh, good, man. So, here we are, Tuesday afternoon. You just got in yesterday?
Yeah, I got into L.A. yesterday.
And what are you doing in town? Just hanging with me?
Trying to hook up with some Tinder chicks.
Yeah, you're single now, right?
Is that wrong?
No. Do you Tinder?
Yeah, there's no luck there whatsoever.
Yeah, we're old dudes. Chicks are like, next.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. I hear it works well, but it doesn't for me.
Yeah, I don't even fuck around with Tinder. It's just a garbage can, But you're single now. How long you been single?
Couple months.
Couple months, and are you going crazy on the road?
I draw a weird audience. If it's fans from that metal show, it's 40-year-old dudes in rush shirts. So if I want to fuck a 40-year-old dude in rush shirts, I'd be the biggest whore.
Yeah, right. I always said if I was gay, boy, I'd be getting mad dick.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
Look at me, I'm the classic bear.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you're into hard rock and metal, that's all you want to talk about. So that's you could sit with someone for hours and talk about that stuff. But it's like, all right, look. Dude, I want to get laid. Sorry. Can we talk about the Scorpions' Blackout album at another time?
Well, the thing is, it's so funny because, back in the day, if you just added cocaine to that fire, it was coke and rock, and then you didn't even notice the chicks. Like you're just like, yeah, but what about the guitar tone on that?
See, now I never did the coke because I was more into the girls.
Right.
So I saw my friends doing coke, and all of a sudden they were in a corner talking about how we stole the American Indians' land, which I didn't even think they knew that.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, you know
coke
what I mean?
knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like this, and then meanwhile I'm like, let's go to the club, let's go try to pick up some chicks. Or we're at a concert. What are you guys doing? So that never appealed to me because I saw how they acted.
You bring a girl back to your hotel room, there's a group of guys outside your window going, yo, seriously, though, Rush or ACD? Seriously, though, which one is it?
Yeah, man, you get fucking geeking on that shit, man. I mean, that's what Lars Ulrich says he misses most about cocaine is the conversations in a bathroom, like, yeah, what about Saxon, man, denim and leather?
Yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
good to a point, but sometimes you're just like, all right, I don't know. Like people always come up to me because we'll do like trivia or who's the best bass player on our show, and they'll come to my comedy show. I go, dude, I got a bone to pick with you. I go, no, you don't. I go, dude, no, you don't. All right, look, I just think he's a butler. He's my favorite bass player. If you think whoever is, then that's fine. There's no bone to pick with me. That's my personal. I like Black Sabbath the best. You like Iron Maiden. That's okay. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, well, I like them both.
Yeah, I know. I said I like them both, but I like
hilarious,
Sabbath
right?
better. How could you like Sabbath better? I go, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah, it gets
Whatever you want to like is fine.
Yeah, it gets pretty brutal out there. It's funny, like I noticed last week when you called in, I was talking a little bit about a singer or whatever, and you clammed up a bit because people get fucking bitter, like, hey, how could you say that or this? You're just talking about rock like you talk about food or whatever. Like, God, I love steaks. I don't like salmon.
Yeah.
No,
I know. It's weird.
It is weird, man.
I mean, it's good to have a passion with it, but dude, let it go. I don't,
Yeah. Let it go. Def Leppard, yeah. High and Dry record.
We
I was
knew
there,
it,
dude.
finally.
Yeah.
I saw that tour, Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah.
And High and Dry. I saw it 5 times.
Oh man, I saw the High and Dry tour only once. Henry J. Kaiser and Pete Willis on guitar. Man, I wonder where that guy is right now.
He's doing like real estate. He owns like some buildings or something in England, in his hometown or whatever, Sheffield, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, Sheffield. Yeah.
Yeah, he owns like apartment buildings, I think, and he's doing maybe real estate, if I'm not mistaken. They're still kind of. I think we talked to Joe Elliott or maybe Phil Collin. He said, yeah, he's still around, and we see him here and there.
Man, the particular show I saw, they came out there on the first song, and Pete Willis played Hamer guitars, Hamer Explorers. And he was a real small dude, and it was big, and he leaned down, and these dudes just snatched it right off him. He's like, oh, shit.
Really?
And it went into the crowd, and it was surfing around, and big-ass dudes dove in, boxed and got it. It was all torn apart, brought it back up. He played a different one the rest of the night, but I was like, holy shit, his guitar just got snatched.
Wow, I've never seen that at a show before.
I've never seen it, but that's because they didn't have the barrier back then. You could just get right up on the stage,
Yeah.
Did you guys see Dave Grohl break his leg
Yeah.
and then finish the fucking show?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's incredible. Did you see that?
Yeah, yep.
Absolutely, and say what you want about like modern rock or rock today, but there are still dudes out there like, oh, it's just a show. They're not really rocking. He broke his fucking leg.
Yeah.
And kept playing.
Well,
incredible.
He's amazing because he's just old school, man. I mean, he's like punk rock. He rode around in vans and shit. He's not like some fucking, getting manicures and stuff and like, oh, it's hot out, or whatever.
No, and they do like almost 3-hour shows
Yeah.
every night and stuff. No, the Foo Fighters are phenomenal.
Yeah, and Hit City, man. They got so many hits. And that show, Sonic Highways, was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think people tend to discount them just because they have so many poppy videos.
Yeah.
Like the music, but like the Mentos or the Flight Attendant, like things that are just fun-loving and fun and like very mainstream. And then I think that is pulled away from, the music they're playing to some extent. But fuck, man, they've been killing it for years.
Absolutely. One of the best bands out there by far.
I get that video thing, though, because when you're coming from Nirvana, where it's like really serious and it's an art thing and stuff, I think after a while you're like, fuck, I got to get this weight off my shoulders and have a little fun, like Weezer has some crazy fun, and that guy's a serious artist, but their videos are fun. You gotta have something to watch. We're gonna watch 4 dudes just
and it's fun because I got a 4.5-year-old son and he loves those videos because they're funny with the Mentos and learning to fly when on the plane and stuff like that. He loves that stuff with Walk when they're recreating Falling Down.
Oh yeah.
That video, which is great too. So totally turned him on, even though he's 4.5. But now we have that bond that we love the Foo Fighters.
That's great. Now you got one son?
Yeah.
He Spicer just had a second daughter.
Doubled down.
Yeah, he's got 2 daughters. He just had another daughter a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, man. You think you'll have another?
No, I'm good. One's good.
It's a smart man over there.
Yeah. I hit the jackpot with mine, man.
Yeah. You got a good one?
Yeah, it was like I walked into a casino. I put like a dollar in, and I won 10 grand, and I walked out. And like, no, what do you stay for more? Come on. I'm like, nope, I'm gone.
No,
I'm in my car, and I drove away.
It goes the other way. You put $1 in, and then you have to put in 100 grand more. I think is how it really works out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't walk away.
Yeah, but this is house money you're playing with. Why not? You just play just a couple grand. Nope, I'm good. I'm out. I'm out the door.
Now, how long were you married for?
2.5 years.
Oh shit, not long at all then.
No.
And before that, never married?
No, never.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Because I talk about it over and over. I talked about it on Rogan. What do you think? It's just you're on the road. That's how you make your living. It's rough, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy on a relationship because you're gone, especially on weekends, too. That's where you make your real money. And if anyone that works 9 to 5, that's when they have time off. So, yeah, it is a rough schedule. I only try to be out like 8 days out of the month, and I'm home the other 22. So it's not that bad. I cut back my schedule.
Where do you go on at home? You live in Jersey, right?
Yeah, I can go to New York. I'm a half hour from New York. So I'll do 1 or 2 sets a week in a city on like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday. I'll pick like one night, and then I'll, So my schedule wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Now, you did Louis. We had you on. We got a call. Let's grab it real quick, see what's happening here. How's it going, man? You're on the air.
Oh, cool, man. I've got a couple questions for Dean.
That's me. First, who are you and where are you calling from?
My name's Brandon. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Oh, Houston, man.
H-Town?
Yeah, that's Spicer's hometown. And Sam Kinison and Bill Hicks.
Yeah,
awesome.
Sure is. And we've got a rising comedy scene right now. It's getting better and better and better. So I'm just wondering when you're coming here.
Oh, man, I'm trying to get to Houston. Here's the thing. Everybody that hits me up, I'll fucking go anywhere. I have no agent, no manager. Right. So I will go anywhere and perform. That's why I do this. I love it. So if you know anybody that books places, have them call me, and I will come out immediately.
Cool. And I do, and I absolutely will. So cool, good to hear that. Second question, well, I don't even know if it's more of a question, it's more of a thank you for having John Theodore on. Someone I don't really hear a lot from interview-wise, podcast-wise. It's kind of the first time we heard like aspects of his life, both musically and, unmusically, if you will. So it's just really fucking cool to hear that. So I didn't expect it. It was unexpected. So yeah, I just want to thank you for being the first person to actually make that fucking happen.
Oh, you got it, man. I mean, it's easy to have the stars of the band on. I mean, it's not easy. It's
right.
But it's the obvious guest. But I always say that 99% of the best bands are because of each dude in the band, and 100% of it is usually because the drummer's great,
Yeah.
So
John is so amazing, too. So he's with Queens now, and I think he's guesting this week on Seth Meyers, too.
He is. He's playing drums on Seth Meyers this week, which is fantastic, man. And if anybody's listening to this, listen to that episode, because it's talking about a guy, he moves out here. He doesn't know the Mars Volta guys. He joins the band, and his life changes, So the guy's fantastic, and he's a crushing drummer, man. I mean, it's unbelievable how many great drummers are out there. And I've had most of them on the podcast that people don't know, like, who's that guy? And you have them on. It's like, these guys are monsters,
Right.
Thanks for calling in.
Man. Thanks so much.
You got it, man.
My son's taking drum lessons. He's 4.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, so does he watch the YouTube videos? Like, Burr's got all these kids. He always fires up, look at this video. It's a kid like fucking 4, just hot dog in a shake. He's playing perfect.
No, a little bit, but he just, he'll watch. He likes watching the real video, like of the bands.
Yeah.
And just figuring out them, listening to the beat and stuff and just trying to go with it.
That's cool. Now, he's obviously... You're exact to me. If I had a son, it would just be like, it's rock, right?
Oh, yeah. As soon as we wake up in the morning, we put Slipknot on or something. He's like, Dad, put some Papa. He loves Papa Roach. That's his favorite band.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He's
Why do you think?
I don't know, because, I got him into more like the rap rock stuff because it's easier for a kid to pick up.
Yeah.
So I started watching, and my nephew's into it, my 15-year-old nephew, so he turned him on to Papa Roach. Just, easier shit to pick up.
Yeah, you got to get him on Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, he loves Rage. Yeah.
That shit is the best.
Oh yeah. Know Your Enemy is his favorite song, and Bulls on Parade. He loves Bulls on Parade too.
I love that Rolling Down Rodeo.
Oh yeah.
I would pay good money to see a 4 to 5 year old Rage cover band. For sure.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of like toddlers or young kids, kindergarten, just playing Rage.
Yeah, and they just up there like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Clean your room. Fuck you, I won't. And just killing
just
it the whole time.
Fucking 5-year-old. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. That's actually a 5-year-old lyric. That's what it is at the end of the day, right? It's just kids like, I said clean your room. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Right? That's
love Rage.
No, oh God, right? Unbelievable.
One of the best live bands I've ever seen in my life. Them, Slipknot, are to me, Rammstein too. I throw Rammstein in there too.
Yeah.
As far as live bands.
And those remastered, if you haven't listened to, if you've been sitting on listening to the remastered, was it 20th anniversary Rage album?
Unbelievable.
Oh, the first one, the whole box set.
So fucking good. What a clean set.
It's the fucking bass on that. Tim is like, it gets in. But the singer, I saw them on the second record. Bill Graham used to have this thing at the Fillmore in San Francisco, and it was they would do like 3 days of the biggest bands on the planet, one each night, and it would be like a $500, $200 ticket, and all the money would go to the San Francisco music high schools to have music programs. So the weekend I went, Rage was on the Friday. And I'd never seen them, and the first record, I was just kind of like, I get it. It was everywhere. It was kind of, burning me out because it'd be just, fuck you, I won't, everywhere. But I go in the second record, they play the Fillmore, and I never forget it. Zakk comes out, he's like, we're Rage Against the Machine from Los Angeles, California. And all of a sudden it's like, dun-dun, and the crowd is going fucking crazy. And he's doing that like, I'm rolling down Rodeo, and then be like, shotgun in your hand. Like louder than the band.
I've never seen, because, Zakk barely talks in between songs.
Yeah.
He says we're Rage Against the Machine for Los Angeles, California. And they take like a minute break in between songs. They don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, Morello starts with a riff.
Yeah.
Or Tim starts with a riff, and and the place goes fucking berserk every time.
Insane.
And there's no slow song, so it's a constant mosh pit. It's just insanity.
It's straight violence.
Yeah, it is.
Like you look around, like fuck yeah, like man. I mean, I got goosebumps.
Same with me, man. I know.
It's crazy how fucking rad it is. The next time I saw him was on the third record, Battle of Los Angeles. They played Oakland Coliseum, where the Golden State is about to win their. Second championship since 1975. Anyway, they played in there. And that's 16,000. And I was like, someone's dying tonight. I mean, it was 3-4 pits, dudes jumping off balconies. No fucking...
But it's an example, another example of the best type of violence, if that makes sense. Like, everybody's going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But at the only Rage show I went to, when like someone went down, you were helped up immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And then pushed fucking back down again.
Yeah.
But like, it's a community, and you just buy into this hive mentality, and everyone is going. And then that 1 minute when everybody stops, when they stop, it's like a collective like...
Yeah. Hell yeah, it's a breath.
Wham! And then everybody goes again. It's like there are some shows where you fall down and then some dick will run from like 20 yards away just to kick you because that's the only reason that fucker's at the show.
Yeah.
But like the best bands and the best communities and the best fans, it's not like that. Like everybody's going fucking crazy, but then everybody will pick each other up and just keep going.
One of the greatest frontmen I've ever seen, hands down. And I also love Karen O from the Yeah. She, to me, was like the female version of him, just like way outside the box. Like, what the fuck? We got a call. Let's check it. Hey, you there? Oh, no call. Cut out. Lost him. Fucking got scared. Didn't want to hold on. Okay, so you did Rogan yesterday.
Yeah.
I did Rogan on Thursday. Complete fucking game changer for me. Like, over the weekend, the amount of tweets and Instagram followers, it's just been out of control. How did you have a good time yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great.
There's something about that guy, right? Like he really is. He's well versed in all kinds of platforms and stuff. He's well read, so you can go all over. I was telling these guys seamlessly. Like we're talking about hot rods, then we get into music, then we're on drugs, then we're on comedy. without any low spots.
No, he's amazing. Any conversation that comes up, he's got he knows the history of it and all that other stuff. Yeah, he's a really smart dude.
Yeah, he's straight up encyclopedia, man. It's
Yeah.
badass. Now, you also did the Louis season. We had you on, talked about that. Are you seeing some, I mean, to me, like yesterday or today, actually, I was talking to a guy, Rogan was like doing Carson to me. Like, I can't believe the fucking action I'm getting from it. So you got Rogan and Louis, two of the biggest people in the biz, and you've been on their shows in the last month.
Yeah, and I got a little part in Amy Schumer's movie coming out
Insane.
in July.
Yeah, like someone who's like rocketing through the planet right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it was great because that was the first time I ever done Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Rogan in like 15 years. It's really weird. Don't run into him for some reason. He moved out to L.A. I knew him back in New York when he was living in New York before he got News Radio, and then once he got News Radio and Fear Factor, I just never ran into him.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I seen him in a long time. We did a lot of gigs together early on.
Yeah, that's like me. When I started comedy 5.5 years ago, he was never at the store.
Right.
So I literally never saw Joe Rogan until about 6 months ago or whatever when he came back to the store. And of course I'm like a fan, but I don't want to be the guy like, hey, oh. So I just stayed back and laid cool, you know.
Yeah.
But you were like, fuck, that's awesome watching him go on every night in there, you know. And he's, because I used to watch his videos, Ian and I, Edwards, and we would be like, look how fucking funny this shit is, man. And no one could talk anything, heckle or anything, because he would just blast you because he knew the knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I'm like you, like I just never saw him.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like picturing you, Dean, as like, the coolest tail in the world. Like Joe just looks back and you're just kind of leaning against the wall, looking all cool. He goes and does a set. You're in the green room all of a sudden, just reading a fucking magazine. He's like, who is this guy?
I was in the green room last week, and it was I was on the same show, but it was like Burr, Rogan, and I think it was Bert Kreischer was in there, and then me, and they were talking, and I wasn't saying a word, and Burr stopped and said, well, hey, what's wrong with you, man? You haven't said a word. And I'm like, no, I just fucking listening. I'm not jumping in on this, you know? Sometimes you just gotta listen, you know? And they're talking about cool ass shit. You don't want to fuck it up. Well, one time I saw Van Halen. You know what I mean? It's like you just sit back.
You don't want to force the issue.
No, you just listen, you know? It's crazy. So that metal show we were talking about, you still don't know, right?
No, they don't let us know for a while. You know, they always keep it. It's almost like you have a one night stand with a really hot chick.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna call. I'll call you tomorrow. And you don't hear from her, and you're like, oh man. And then like 4 months later, out of the blue, hey, I lost your number. I got a new phone. You want to hang out? Like, holy shit, absolutely.
Hell yeah, I want to hang out for money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like that. You're in limbo. You're like, I guess that's not gonna happen. But that's how TV works. They don't let you know right off the bat. But I'm not worried about it. It's been on for 7-8 years or whatever. So
yeah, what do you got? 13 seasons?
Something like that. But we've been on since 2008. So
wow, that's awesome.
I don't worry about it. Once I'm done with the show, I just move on to some other shit, whether it's stand up or whatever I'm doing. So I don't give a fuck. And when it comes back, it comes back. That's the way I got to look at it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you know, it's I get this a lot, and I'm sure you get this a lot. It's funny how people, and I'm not clowning on people. I'm just letting them know that you got to understand what it is. People constantly say, how come you don't have this guy or that guy on the show? They don't understand. We'll take them all, right? You know, like I want to have Robert Plant on. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to have Springsteen. You can't get them.
No, exactly.
We're getting our own guests. It's not like you just fire up, hey Bruce, Delray, you heard me on my podcast, Let There Be Talk, you know? So are there any guests that you really wanted to have on there? Have you had King Diamond?
Yeah.
Wow, you had King Diamond.
Yep.
I missed that somehow. Is there anyone that you haven't been able to get?
No, I mean, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, but, they don't do any press, really.
Yeah,
and,
right.
A lot of bands, because of the title of the show, that metal show, people don't want to be associated because, well, we're not metal.
Yeah.
And then it's on a shitty channel that's not an HD channel, like 386 on your DirecTV.
Yeah.
So then people are like, Jimmy Page might be like, well, what is it? It's a basic cable, 386, not an HD, like that,
Yeah.
Jimmy Page could do whatever the fuck he wants. So, and then Eddie Van Halen, we like that, but Eddie doesn't do press either. So, pretty much we got everybody we wanted to get.
Yeah. Have you had Roth?
No, we haven't had Roth. I would love to have him too. Absolutely.
Yeah, you had Sammy?
Yeah, Sammy's been on a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Michael Anthony's been on.
Yeah.
But the Van Halen brothers don't do much, and Van Halen doesn't do any press. Even when Roth's in the band, they just kind of do their own little thing. They did Kimmel and Ellen, and that was it.
Yep.
So they don't go out and do too much stuff. And I think they kind of just tell Dave, "Hey, man, let's just do the shows.
Yeah.
Don't go out. They don't want to promote. When their album came out, they didn't even promote it. They don't give a shit. Yeah, which I like about them.
It's like old school, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And they just put the live album out. There was no overdubs or anything. They didn't fix anything on it. It's good.
Yeah.
That was the concept. We're not going to fix anything. I love that.
Yeah, I got to think, man, Eddie Van Halen has got to be the greatest of all time. Like, I mean, that to me, as I think about it over and over, like, constantly I watch the, like, Fair Warning. There's that early Fresno footage floating around right now that's incredible. But I just think about, there's no guy that just pioneered it like him. A striped guitar, crazy playing, looked dynamite, crushing tunes and riffs, and a complete outlaw, you know?
Yeah.
There's no better guy than that. You see Van Halen, what's the first time you saw him?
I saw him open for Sabbath.
Oh,
78
on
was
that
my
one.
first concert, Never Say Die, and their album just came out. I was a little kid. My older brothers took me to the concert.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. There was a whole theory that Van Halen blew Sabbath off the stage. That tour, not true.
Yeah.
I was there. The album just came out. People knew. I think You Really Got Me might have been the first single off it, and it was just like, and that was a cover song from the Kings. So Van Halen wasn't huge at that point.
Yeah.
I think the album was out maybe 2 or 3 months, and it just started getting radio play, like the first song. So people came in and go, "Oh, who's this band? This young band running around and shit like that." But everybody was stoned, doing drugs and shit like that. So when Sabbath came on, they're like, "Oh yeah," everybody knew all the Sabbath shit. So I even asked Iommi on our show, because that's always the myth that Van Halen blew. He goes, "I don't remember that." He goes, I would say it too. I've had bands. He goes, "No, I don't." I go, "Do you remember people leaving when you got on stage?" He goes, "Nope." I go, "There you go." From the fucking guy that was there, and I was there too.
We got to call. Ain't no one leaving when they see Sabbath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, no, we lost the call. Man, what's with these fucking callers, man? Prank calling and hanging up. It's funny, Never Say Die. I recently got it on vinyl. I was in Colorado, went to a record store. There it was, mint. I was like, yeah, get it. And I get home, and, everybody's like, "Oh, Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy are terrible." You put them on, they're fantastic.
Great records.
Oh, man. Never Say Die, the song is great.
Oh yeah, Johnny Blade is phenomenal. Hard Road's a great song to listen to as a comic, because it's basically just saying it's fucked up and just keep it. And one of my favorite songs in there is Junior's Eyes.
Junior's Eyes.
Now that's a song that Ozzy's dad was dying at the time.
Oh.
And he was running back and forth to England from the studio and stuff like that. And he wrote the lyrics to that about his dad.
Wow.
And then Zakk Wylde did a version of it on like I forget, he put like an acoustic record out about a year ago. And he did a acoustic version, a piano version of that song. It's fucking incredible.
Wow. I wish, man, that Zakk Wylde would put Pride and Glory back together. Because I think that band was fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Brian Tishy,
It's a monster on drums.
And those songs like Losing My Mind, that one, and Shine On. That fucking record is great. They looked great. They were like, they had the Southern vibe, and it's just crushing. I wish he would just go out and do one run with that again.
Well, he did that acoustic thing, like I just saw him recently do the acoustic.
Yeah.
Unblackened, thing it was called, but that was with his band. But there was that Book of Shadows record was really good. There was a song on there, a ballad called Way Beyond Empty. Is one of my favorite ballads of all time. Zakk writes great ballads.
He does, because he comes from like Eagles. I saw him do Desperado, and it was fucking great. He's just Desperado. He's got this, that twang, man. You play video games when you're on the road?
Never. Nope.
Yeah, I'm not a video game guy either.
Never,
but did you
never
grow,
was.
You grow up on video games?
Nope.
I did when I was young. I
played I don't know, whatever the fuck it was, Atari
Pac-Man.
or so, Pac-Man and shit. Yeah. And then Galaga.
Galaga, yeah.
But no, I was never into it. I don't know, just never was my thing. And I never had video games that I played on my TV.
I don't play video games at home. That's just boring to me. But I loved going to the arcade and rocking some Dig Dug. And Tom Green has a Pac-Man in his Miss Pac-Man at the studio. And I'm always like...
One of the best ever. Miss Pac-Man is
right?
a legend. It is such a great game.
Well, Galaga was the only one I got into. I said, I'm going to just try to master one game. I'm not going to do 10. So I was pretty good at Galaga.
I crushed on Galaga, man. I love that game. It's so funny, the adrenaline that goes through you when you're playing for money when you only have like $1 in your pocket.
Right.
And you go to the arcade on the way home from school and you put the quarter and you're like, oh, fuck, I only got 3 more quarters. You know, I mean, it's on, you know? Like,
Well-
I'd snatch change from my mom's purse when she'd be in the shower, you know? No joke. Like, oh, yeah, you in the shower too? Okay, Pac-Man. I was hooked on that shit, man. Like, I'd be in the arcade. I remember one time I got in a fight in an arcade because I was playing too good, and this guy just punched me in the side of the face like, you've been on too long, and we went at it.
Really?
Yeah, in an arcade like that, because I was killing and he was waiting. You know, you just put your quarter up,
Yep.
put your quarter up and
Yeah.
wait, you know. And pinball, man, I was just in Toronto and played the best pinball machine I played in 20 years, the Metallica game. And I'm not saying that because I love the band, because the AC/DC game, I love them, and that game sucks. But the Metallica one's killer. And I was in there, and there's after the show, there's tons of girls in this Toronto bar, and I was just like, I don't see shit. And these guys, I got the highest score ever there. They put it up on the thing. You
Really?
know? Yeah, at the bar. It's awesome.
What'd you enter your name as? Virgin? What was it?
DDR, dude. DDR.
Dance Dance Revolution? Nice.
So Spicer loves video games, and he just right now is the biggest video game convention going on in town. E3.
Yeah, avoid downtown if you're not interested in video games. It's crazy. Well, one of the great things about gaming now today, especially for like getting people into music, I mean, especially like the Call of Duty games, which are the biggest action military shooter games going on, they always have the best trailers with some of the most heart-stopping music that you maybe wouldn't associate with just like killing people. You know, it's like going on this shooting spree, but it's like they blend classic rock and just like metal into these trailers and introduce a whole new generation of kids that otherwise wouldn't be exposed to some of this music.
That's great.
To something that they love, and at the same time you're getting some awesome new music that just like there's a game called Hotline Miami 2, which is, it's not new anymore, but it's newish, and it's Devolver Studios, and they always put the craziest fucking shit. Like, as you're playing it, you just, like, find yourself in this trance as you're going along, and it's like, and you're just, like, killing people, moving through this house, going through and trying to get this speed run done. And then when you're done, you're like, holy shit, I need to buy that album. And, like, that's what's great. I think movies used to do that a little better than they do now.
Right.
Like Avengers 2 or whatever. It's like a dope movie, but no one leaves buying that soundtrack and then all of a sudden loving Offspring or whoever it was. That was
Armageddon's probably the last one that was like a big soundtrack that took off.
Yeah, that was the Aerosmith put the ballad on there.
Yeah.
And I think games do that a lot now. And as you watch these trailers, like at E3, all the new games are getting unveiled, and they all have just epic either original scores from like Hans Zimmer, movie guys, or just awesome music that's getting... Because I think that's the hardest thing about music now. While everything is out there, right? You can search everything. You can find footage from like the first show ever of whatever band is somehow on YouTube. But to get through all that and have new stuff curated for you in a way, and something that you're also interested in, is something I think gaming is doing really well, because it's older dudes that have grown up with music and games and all this shit that are now making things for new people. So like your son getting introduced to Papa Roach, and then as his gateway drug into other rock, or my daughter. She's only 2.5, but like even like the Disney games, they'll have like, you know, Disney music or whatever, but then they'll have like an acoustic cover of like I guess Eric Clapton is acoustic. That's a bad version. But you know,
but something, a huge hit, and all of a sudden,
right? Yeah,
it's
like
camouflage
Stones or something, and then they're into that. So even if you don't, you're not into games, I would just pay attention to what they're kind of secretly introducing young kids into and getting them excited about.
Yeah, murder.
It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely.
Of course, murder, always murder.
It's funny because Bobby Lee, we got a call. Let's grab it real quick, and then we'll get back to Bobby Lee's addiction of games. You there, man? How's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
Who's calling?
It's Scott the Hoople down in San Diego.
All right. How are you, man? Did you just meet
Pretty
Scott
good.
Spicer or something?
What?
I was there last night, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
Did a show last night down there.
You got a question, man?
Yeah, well, I want to say, Dean, I saw you when you were down here just several weeks ago. Great set, great show. I really liked it.
Oh, with who was I with?
With Big J.
Oh, yeah, Big J Okerson. Oh, that was a great weekend, man. Fucking crowds radical.
Good fun.
Right on,
So
man.
I got a question, since you guys are all rock and roll guys. So is there a concert you guys ever went to where you weren't expecting to really be blown away, but you ended up getting blown away despite your expectations?
You got that, Jim?
I'm trying to think of one. Give me a
Mine
second.
was Rage, for sure. I just talked about it because I was just like, oh, yeah, I'll go check this out. And then walked out of there completely addicted to that band. And
No doubt.
I saw their last show a couple years ago. Ian Edwards and I went to the L.A. Coliseum. It was them, Muse, and Lauryn Hill. And to see them in front of like 75,000 people where the Raiders played and shit, these guys were ripping up AstroTurf and lighting it on fire. There was fires going. It looked like a war out there. And I was like, this is fucking great, man. So, yeah, it was definitely...
I'd be kind of scared for my life. If I was there, I'd be looking like watching my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty good. What about you, Spice?
I'm trying to Google when or where it was, but I think it was what is it, Bridge Fest? What's the show in San Francisco?
Oh yeah, Bridge Benefit. Neil Young puts on a show every year, and it's for his. He has an autistic child. They have school that they built, and he puts on a humongous 2-day.
It's like right there in the park.
It's at Shoreline, and they just do this thing with, and you'll see people. You're like, oh, I don't want to. That happened to me. That happened to me. I was there. Springsteen was on the bill, and I go, this guy, I'm out of here. This is back on the Ghost of Tom Joad tour. And I go, I don't want to see this at all. Let's get a beer. And my buddy goes, no, hold on. Let's check it for a minute. And he just fucking blew my mind. He played that record.
That was Fish for me. My older brother was real into Fish, and we went to the show, and I was like, jam bands didn't do it for me. I'd never seen them live. I was not really into the Dead. But just something about, you see this dude come out in a bunny suit, and they just shred one song for 20 minutes, and you're just like, oh, shit. And everybody, of course, then was, and probably still now, just high out of their fucking minds, and just kind of rolling with the waves of the music. I still don't love Fish on CD, but Fish live was pretty legit.
Yeah, the drummer's insane in that band. What do you got, Jim?
You know, as far as expectations, I was like you mentioned Springsteen before, from Jersey, so Springsteen was just oversaturated, you know what I mean? It's like everybody, Bruce was so to me, just I was like, I can't like it just because everybody else does.
That's like me.
Yeah, so I got to the point where I was like, oh, I've had enough of this guy. And then I learned to like him a little over the years. I'm like, all right, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. But I actually got hooked up with tickets to see him probably about 4 years ago, and the fucking show was unbelievable.
Insane, right?
Yeah, so he really... And then Leonard Skinner also.
You mean now?
Yeah, then over the last, 5 years, I'm like, Skinner, how many, there's 2 guys? Now there's
one now.
Yeah, so I'm like, do I want to go see that? And I go, yeah, and now I go see him every year.
Wow, really?
My
buddy goes on the Skinner cruise every year.
I want to go on the cruise one year, too.
And, man, you should see these fucking photos of the people on that cruise, boy. They come to drink.
I don't know if I want to be in a boat with those people, but I'll go to a 3-hour concert with them.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, cool. Right on, man. Bye.
Jim, you ever get into the Dead?
No, that wasn't...
It's so
I didn't take drugs, really, so,
The reason I ask is because I grew up in San Francisco, and that was basically like what Springsteen was for you in Jersey. It's just dead. And you're like, after a while, fuck the Dead, man. Metallica. But now... I am a complete Dead maniac, man. And watch this movie. Check it. It's Bob Weir, the other one, on Netflix right now, documentary on him.
Right.
He's been in the band since he was 16. Just watch it, because I love watching people's journeys of they're nobody, and they become the biggest band of all time, ticket sales-wise.
Yeah.
You know? Just blowing away people, and I love them now. I can't get enough.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while to get into something, you don't get it at first.
Yeah, like Rush, back in the day, I was like, no to that singer. Today's Tom Sawyer! I was into Geddy Lee. Now, fucking bring it on, man, because of the musicianship,
Yeah, definitely.
Has that gone the other way for you, where, you were really into some... Oh, really?
Kiss, yeah.
Why'd you fall out of love?
Well, as you get older, you realize, I like it. It's nostalgic, but... I like Creatures of the Night way more than the stuff I fell in love with. Creatures is a fantastic record. But I don't put on Kiss. I put it on about once a year, and I'll do a Kiss week. And I'll be like, I'm good. I will. I'll just go Alive 2. I'll do, I don't do any of the other records. I'll go Alive 2, and then I'll go to Creatures, and I'm good. But,
Never was a big Kiss fan. I just missed a boat on them. It's like,
How old are you?
50.
50, yeah, we're the same age. I'm 49.
But
That's
I didn't
crazy.
just, and they were huge at the time. My older brothers brought home the music, so whatever they brought home, I listened to. So
See, that's why.
It was Ted Nugent, it was AC/DC, it was Black Sabbath,
Yep.
it was, and then they also got into like the Stones, and then they were also into the Doors, and then Aerosmith,
Stoner rock.
but then also Boston.
Yeah.
I remember first Boston. fucking
All the
record.
stoner rock, I called it. I remember I was 6th grade, and my best friend was 6th grade, and his brother was 9th grade. And he would always be like, "Oh, that Kiss sucks. You got to be listening to Hotel California." And he'd just have those black light posters, and he's smoking weed. He'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my room," And we could hear it, and all that stuff. And he was right. Zeppelin, all great.
Yeah, Zeppelin too. I remember going to the store to pick up Technical Ecstasy when it came out in 1976, and my brothers bought on an 8-track the day it came out, and we put it in the car on the way home. We just drove around and listened to the thing.
8-track.
I know, but it was
Love
so
it.
fucking cool just to go. They opened it up in the car, and we decided we're just going to cruise and see what this thing sounds like.
Yeah, man.
fucking great,
I
man.
did that so many times.
I still do that to this day. There's a CD store near my house in
yeah,
Jersey.
you still go there, right?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
it called?
Vintage Vinyl.
Give him a shout out.
It's
yeah.
in Woodbridge, New Jersey. It's phenomenal. Big metal store. Like the bass player in Saxon put a solo disc out, and it's the front fucking CD when you walk in the store. I'm like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, no one would even know what that is
Exactly.
anywhere in America.
Yeah, he was the bass player that played only on 2 albums, and his CD is right there. So I always get a new CD, and I pop it in the parking lot, and I just drive home listening to it. I love that.
Yeah, that's
just
fun.
tune everything else out. You got to crank it in your car. That's the key.
Yeah.
Or if you got a good system in your house or whatever. But when Death Magnetic came out, the last Metallica record.
I love that record.
Everybody was bitching about the sound that was overmodulated or whatever. And Lars came on our show. He goes, "Look, I don't know. It sounds good in my truck when I'm driving around. And that's what I go on.
Well, that's how bands are. You people don't know. I played music for years. You get a mix up and you go straight out to the car. And you get in the car and you go, vocals are too low. You go back in, they remix it, and you go, sounds good, maybe pump up the bass, and we're there. It's all done in the car,
It
man.
is.
It's hilarious.
That's where it sounds the best.
And that's where we grew up listening to rock and roll, because you could hear it loud without people saying turn it down, and you're driving somewhere, usually to a concert or a party, and that shit was on.
Yep.
Screaming for Vengeance was probably in my cassette player with auto reverse, by the way, for a solid year. I never took it out. It was in there. It comes on. It's just
the Hellion,
electric guy.
Riding on the wind.
Oh,
Holy shit. Take
God
these chains.
damn. We got a call. Take these chains, dude. Hey, you there, man?
Hey,
How are you? Who's calling? Where are you calling from?
good. Steve from Bakersfield. Hey,
Right.
what's your guys' favorite traveling music when you're in the car or on the bike?
Oh, man. You got what, Jim? Favorite traveling music you listen to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got the iPod and I just kind of flick around. and
Shuffle.
I don't listen to like heavy shit. I'll listen to heavy shit in the gym.
Yeah.
Like a Slipknot, a Hatebreed, a System of a Down or something like that, or Rage. But, when I'm driving, it's more like a AC/DC and Ozzy
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Or new shit. There's a band called Blackberry Smoke I love that's like Southern
That's a
rock,
great band.
Skinner shit. Yeah, so I'll listen to that stuff. And then when I'm home, I listen to more I listen to classic rock. I got a
Pink
record player
Floyd.
right in my kitchen. Yeah, I put some old Bob Seger on and shit
Yeah.
like that. Floyd, Animals. I had Animals I was playing the other day. Fucking-
Joey Diaz and I were just talking about that record yesterday.
fucking phenomenal.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you go, Spice?
If I have a long drive and I want to stick to one band or one album, it's almost always Radiohead.
Oh, wow.
Because it just kind of, it gets me going and then keeps me going, and then before you know, you can loop it, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And every song has its moment. They're not all great. There are some, but every song has its moment. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm in Bakersfield or whatever, and then you realize where you are in the album, and then you keep going. What's yours?
I love to put on, I've got a shitload of those live Black Crows. They sell them after the shows. And I got a bunch of them. And I'll just throw a show on and listen to the entire show. I like to listen to the show like, oh, wow, they went into Wiser Time there. That's pretty wild, and hear the journey of it. And just by the time I'm somewhere, the whole concert's over.
Right.
Live records are great when you're cruising. Long live records. They're 3-disc,
I lost interest in live records. I like the stuff that was in the 70s and early 80s, but I guess the bootleg stuff maybe off the soundboard would be good, but the live records that come out now, they just don't. The sound, it really helped those in the 70s. It helped those records because the sound wasn't that great. They could capture on the record, but they could do it live.
Yeah, right. Like
So
Double
brought-
Live Gonzo.
Double Live Gonzo, Unleashed in the East brought all those pre-songs to life. The Kiss songs, the Peter Frampton,
Peter
UFO.
Frampton. And
UFO.
the AC/DC, man, fucking If You Want Blood.
If You Want Blood. There was a ton of them that were just Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous, another one.
Yeah.
So you just got a better sound. So those are great live records. By the time the 80s came, I think the last one I really liked was Live After Death, the Maiden one.
Yeah. That one's great. Most
Yeah.
of the live records are fake and stuff, but these Black Crowes ones are cool because they play different sets every fucking night. So
Right.
you go like, oh, shit, they played this on that night and that on that night, which is great. But I never buy live records from a band that does the same set every night. It's like, same fucking set. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it, bud. Yeah, that shit. Live records are awesome. We got another call. Let's grab it. You there? Hello.
Is this Dean?
That's right, man. Who's calling?
No way, dude. My name's Justin. I'm from Kennewick, Washington, up in the Northwest.
Right on. I love it up there, man. Soundgarden.
Dude, right? I see that you're coming to Portland in July.
I am with Mark Maron. Are you going to come?
Dude, I'm going to try it. You need to get up here to, you should come to the Tri-Cities, man.
I'm trying to get there to the parlor. I'm just working on it, so hopefully I'll be there. They have 2 rooms now, I heard.
Yeah, it's pretty sick scene, but, dude, just giving you some support. I love your stuff.
Thank you so much, man. You have a question?
No, I just wanted to call and just say what's up. I mean, this is kind of unreal for me.
Oh, man, I'm nobody. Don't worry about it, dude. Just fucking...
Yeah, right, man.
Florentine. You got Florentine on here, man.
I was just in Portland and Seattle. I did
yeah.
Studio 7 in Seattle, and I did Bossa Nova Ballroom or something like that in Portland a couple weeks ago.
How was that?
That was cool. It's great, man.
You did that metal show up there?
Yeah, we do like a live show, do stand-up and storytelling and shit like that. But, no, I love those towns.
Dude, next time you guys are around, I'm dragging my wife. I'm getting her out of the house, and we're doing it.
Yeah, man. Or just leave her home and come get really wild.
Right? That's what I'm talking. I don't know if I trust myself anymore.
No, you get crazy. You can play pinball with Dean after the show.
Yeah,
We'll
there's
get
so
real.
many.
Dude, if we go to Shorty's afterwards and play some pinball and eat some hot dogs.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's the kind of partying I do. It's like, where's the
That's what I'm
ribs
talking-
at? Where's the rib joint and some pinball?
Yeah, so Shorty's is a bar on 2nd Ave in Seattle. It's pinball in the back. And it's cheap beer and cheap hot dogs. It's fucking sweet.
Well, Jim won't be there. He's looking for cheap women.
Yeah, the strip clubs in Portland are good for that.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Hey,
right on.
Thanks
you
for...
guys fucking keep doing your thing, man. I just appreciate it.
Thank you,
Taking
dude,
my
man.
calls.
Thank you,
Fucking
brother.
sweet.
Now, you guys go out and you do shows, and then what does Eddie Trunk do? Does he host the show?
Yeah, well, he tells like stories. He tells like funny rock stories and shit like that, like bowling with Ace when he was all fucked up and stuff. So he actually could be a comic. He's up there. He does 20, 25 minutes, no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, no
He's got
shit.
some
huh?
punchlines and shit. Yeah, more stories, but just funny stories. So
Yeah.
he's good at it too.
I'm trying to. I want to do Ari Shafir's "This Is Not Happening" on Comedy Central, so I'm holding this Tesla story in my Canon.
Yeah.
About the night Tesla falls apart on stage when I'm on tour opening for him. And so I respect people that can tell stories. Like Scott Ian's out doing it right now.
Yeah.
And of course Henry Rollins is the fucking master. If you get a chance to go see him doing spoken word, it is comedy. And he'll do 3 hours like a Springsteen show, and you don't even know, because his stories intertwine in and out of each other, and they don't die off in his intensity. He's like, I'm on there, and then James Brown comes out, and he's like, die! Like he's so into it, So Ed, I'm sure Eddie Trunk has some amazing stories,
Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour does it too. Like he's got a book coming out, so he'll do a book tour. I've seen it before. I'll do a show and he'll tell some stories. He'll read some chapters from the book, and then he'll do an acoustic thing. So it's really cool. I'm going to see that in a few weeks too.
Wow,
He's another guy that's really good.
That's badass. What? Now, how do you meet Eddie Trunk? Like, do you know him from back in the day?
No, me and Don Jameson would be doing gigs, coming home on a Friday night, driving home, and Eddie Trunk had this heavy metal show Friday night. He's still every Friday night in New York City.
That's right. You can hear it. It's broadcasted now, right?
Yeah, it's like Q104. It's like a classic rock station, but 11 o'clock to 2 a.m. every Friday night for the last 15 years. He's been on, and we would just drive home from gigs, and we're like, oh, we got to put this guy on. We're listening, like, holy shit, he likes the same music as us. Like, how the fuck did we not know this guy?
Yeah.
And then we met him at a concert a few months later. Go, hey, man, we listen to your show all the time. I can't believe you're playing Accept and Raven. Like, who the fuck would play Raven?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, cool. He goes, you as a comics, you should come up on my show and sit in, and, we'll talk music and all that stuff. So we just started going up. We became friends, and he's like, hey, I'm going to go pitch a show to VH1.
Wow.
With us three. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Yeah.
Wow, man. That's
because he was already working there doing like a regular interview show, just interviewing. It could have been John Mellencamp, or it could have been,
just
Ace
whoever.
or whatever. Just whoever.
Kind of like Matt Pinfield.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he said, I gotta show like, based like the Tonight Show for AC/DC fans. I want to,
Yeah.
So, and we did a pilot, and the rest was that.
Somebody tweeted at me that they should have I thought it was a good idea, not for me or whatever, but this year, if you guys do it, have a comedian come on who loves metal. Other than you two, like, hey, what did you see? You know what I mean? Like
we've had Brian Posehn has done the show.
Oh, badass.
Jim Norton's done the show.
Oh, shit.
Artie Lang has done the show.
Oh,
no, we want it's all up to the network though.
Oh yeah.
Like they pick who goes on. We can make suggestions, but they're like, nah. They love having a face. Like Bret Michaels from Poison.
Yeah.
All they do is think of someone's turning the channel. They go, holy shit, that's the guy that was on the Rock of Love show. Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait, I got to see what he says. That's how they think. And it's like, no, you have fucking Michael Schenker on. You don't understand what a legend he is.
Yeah.
We had Uli John Roth on. We're like, no, he wants to fly in from Germany for free to do our show. We're like, I don't know who he is. He hasn't done anything. I go, you got. And once we booked him, then Kirk Hammett wanted to come on because he's a huge Uli fan.
That's right, and they played together, right?
No, that was him and Schenker. But
him and Schenker.
Kirk was on a few seasons ago just because Uli was doing a show. He goes, I want to be on. I'll be there. What day? And and then when Schenker, he's like, I want to jam with Schenker, so he came in.
Schenker.
Too, so.
It's amazing. Eddie Trunk can name all the UFO records. I was talking about this a couple of days ago, which I fucking had no clue of, and I know rock inside and out, I think. But I was riding to see the Stones with Marin, and he puts it on. He goes, yeah, I like this old UFO, man. And I was like, I'm listening, and I'm thinking, Mark's wrong. This isn't UFO, man. Like, but I'm just going with it. And he's like, you got this one? And I was like, I don't recognize it, And it was before Schenker was in the first two records when they're like kind of psychedelic acid rock.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
The early Scorpion stuff is like that,
too.
I
got that stuff. But I never knew about that. I thought, in my mind, Schenker left Scorpions at like 16 and started UFO. That's what I really thought in my mind forever.
Right.
But no, they had already put out two records, like UFO 1 and 2, and then he joins. And then they completely turn into this hard rock 70s sound. But before that, they're like acid rock. It's dope.
Yeah.
I love it, man. We got a call. You there, man? You're on the air? What's happening?
Hey, what's up?
How are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, San Diego.
Oh, another San Diego call. And what's your name?
Dan.
Dan, you got a question? You got a question, brother?
Yeah. Oh shit. You got Jim in studio, right?
Yeah, he's right here, man.
Oh hell yeah! I don't know. I just want to know if Jim's going to do some dates down here soon. So I know he was here last year, but he hasn't been around since. I'm
going to try to do it in July. Try to set up something. Yeah,
nice.
me, Dean, and Don Jameson did them about a year ago.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I was at that show, so I was hoping you'd come back again.
Yeah, this is like a last minute trip and stuff. So hopefully in July I'll be back and we could do something in San Diego at some point. Yeah, no, I love San Diego. It's one of my favorite cities.
Great. That's where Spicer's from.
It's phenomenal.
Well, I mean, he's from Houston, but he moved out there.
Yeah, he was just here last night. I talked to him for a couple minutes last night.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We hung out after the show for a little bit. Jim, when you were in San Diego, did you ever get to go to any shows going through San Diego, the Adams Avenue Theater? It's a fabric store now, but it was just a fucking awesome venue.
Back in the day, it was a punk rock mega.
No, I've only been, the first time I was in San Diego was probably like 2003 in my life. There was what was the rock club that was on the beach?
4th and B? Oh, on the beach.
Yeah, what was that? It's not called, I forget what it's called.
Belly Up.
No, it was like right on where there's fucking rides and shit. Canes.
Yeah.
I did Canes a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I toured with the guys from the Howard Stern show.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be like 4 or 5 of us, and I probably did Canes 3 or 4 times. I did 4th and B with Stanhope, Nick DiPaolo, Artie Lang, and Stuttering John.
Wow, that's
so
dope.
I did 4th and B, and then I did a show, a stand-up show in the Dirtbag store.
Yo,
Oh, wow.
In the store.
we might have been on that show together. I don't know. I did a bunch of shows there. It was kind of when I was just getting into stand-up, like years ago. Yeah, it was right when you went into PB.
Yep.
Doc. And it was like a little metal stage. It looked like a suite. It looked like a little rock venue. They'd clear out the gear.
Yeah, I did a Friday, Saturday, like 4 shows in a friggin'
that's
clothing
badass.
store.
Yeah,
they had a
was
small
awesome.
stage in there. It was great. Yeah,
Dirtbag used to just send me boxes of stuff. My buddy John Diego would be like, "You like Dirtbag?" And my house would be full of it. We got another call. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, hopefully July, man.
Oh, no call. Okay, so yeah, man, I keep forgetting that you were doing that Howard Stern for a while, where they were kind of looking for a guy after Jackie the Joke Man left, right? Was it him?
Yeah,
that
they
left?
they would just had different guys sit in. It's almost like what Opie and Anthony's doing now.
Right.
It's Opie. Yeah, they just have different comics sit in, and just add to the
Is
show.
Norton not the main add to it now? Is he just kind of filling in?
No, I think they call it like Opie and Jimmy show now.
Right,
It used to just be Opie and Anthony, and Jim was the sidekick.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like
you
the
dated
third.
Robin for a while.
Yeah.
You dated Robin. How wild is that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you say you guys broke up because just horrible hours. Same
Horrible
thing.
hours, yeah. But, I took her to see Van Halen
Well, what tour?
in 2007 when they got back together with Roth.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you dated her back then? Like that?
Yeah, it was I think it was 2007. And I took her to see Stone Temple Pilots too.
Wow.
She loves rock music and stuff. It was great.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You have you done Howard Stern lately?
Not for a couple of years, but I got a special in the can that's working on getting sold. So when that comes out, I'll.
Oh, wow.
I'll do
Where'd
the
you
show
shoot it
there.
at?
I shot it in Jersey at this theater in Jersey back in October.
And did you pay for the whole thing yourself?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Well, me and with Metal Blade Records, Brian Slagle.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So is Slago going to put out the vinyl and then you're shopping around the video part of it?
Yeah, the video part. There'll be a CD. I want to put it out on vinyl, so it'll be all of that stuff.
That's dope. Now, how do you like it?
It came out great. It was in a theater that held 400. It looks like a place that holds like 3,000.
Wow.
They
And
shot,
you shoot 2 shows?
2 shows, one night.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to shoot a special.
Same
man.
shirt.
Same shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have any, did you prefer the 1 or the 2? Because people always say you get the 1 in the can and you're like, all right, I got that. And now you go out way looser because you got it.
That's exactly what happened the first show. They you don't even have to do a second one, but do it and take some chances, extend some bits if you want because we already got it on the first one. So
Yeah.
And I think I wound up using more from the second show.
Yeah,
even
'cause
though
you're
we
looser,
had,
right?
we had it on the first show. That could have been a special right there. So
And it's 1 hour?
yeah, it's an hour. Yeah.
Now, do you have other specials out or no?
No, I got 4 stand-up CDs out. I
Right.
haven't put a special out.
Wow.
Yeah, so this will be my first one.
You got a name for it?
Yeah, it's called A Simple Man,
A Simple Man.
Leonard Skinner.
Oh, there you go, man. I love that
Because
one.
it's just basically, I'll just fucking, I wear jeans and T-shirts, and I don't fucking periscope.
Yeah, you don't like Periscope.
I don't know. I just don't. In 3 weeks there's going to be something else that I got to fucking join. What do I got to sign up for now? For what? And then what's going to happen? And then I got to do this and do that. Fuck that. I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I just tell people, I go, look, there's that Scientology documentary that came out on HBO. Okay, it's been in my DVR since it came out. I still have not had a chance to watch it. I go, when I get to that, then maybe I'll start fucking Periscope. And I haven't even had a chance to watch that yet.
You don't watch shit on the road?
No.
Wow. What do you do on the road?
A lot of work, usually.
Yeah.
Because I do a podcast every week. I do a radio show every week on Sirius. So I do the playlist for that. Then I do an hour podcast by myself every week.
Yeah.
And then just writing and stuff like that. And so I always when I'm on the road I do that. And I don't really watch TV too much.
Do you sleep all day like comics, or do you get up early?
I'm up at with my son. I'm up at fucking 7 o'clock.
Of course, with your son, but on the road, do you grab it like I'm sleeping?
No, I'll sleep in maybe like 8:30. But maybe I'll take a nap in the afternoon or whatever. But I always got to do press.
Yeah.
They're driving around doing like 3-4 different radio shows in the afternoon and all that shit. And I like the rest up for the show because that's to me, to do an hour on stage that's the fucking,
It's brutal, right?
It's
People
brutal.
don't know
I
it.
do 2 shows. I had to do in Miami this past weekend, 8 and 10:30, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and I rest up because I want it. It's all for the show. That's what I'm in town for. I'm not in town to go fucking club until 5 in the morning and being hungover and going through the motions on stage. So
Yeah, you're there to give them a great show.
I take the shit serious. So. Look, and there's plus, with the up-and-coming comics that are coming up that are so fucking good, it's like you better fucking turn it up a notch.
Yeah.
Don't get lazy, man.
Yeah, don't get lazy or those clubs aren't calling you back each year.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like, hey, we don't really have a spot for you this year,
Yeah, no, it definitely happens.
But for real, what's your Periscope username?
I don't even know what to do. I'm telling you, in 6 months, it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
There'll be nobody periscopes anymore. You do this. Oh, really? Okay, so now I got to sign up for this. So now I got to get follows on this, and then this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's like, you better join Instagram, for your career. All right, I joined a year. Nothing's really. I didn't get Louis because I was on Instagram. I didn't get Amy Schumer's movie because I was on fucking Instagram. Good. I posted a picture. Good for fucking me. Cares.
I love the angry 50-year-old on the social media. Believe me.
Look, I'll fucking put a tweet out here and now, do a shit, whatever. But it's just, it's overwhelming.
Yeah. Now you got a podcast, which I love. It's I
got a ton of people listen to my podcast. It's a popular podcast, and that's where I can, do my thing on there. If you want to follow me, listen to my fucking podcast.
Yeah, Comedy Metal Midgets.
Yeah.
Now, and your podcast is unique because you basically rage on stuff such as Periscope. You'll just pick a topic, right?
Yeah,
and
pretty
then,
much.
And then riff on what about it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you and I did a funny one where we did shit we hate at concerts. What do you hate at concerts that people do? Spice?
Now concerts? If
Yeah.
you can't even get into the fucking venue without going through a maze of merch tables. Like, I get it. Merch is what supports the bands when they're on the road. But I wanted to get in there and get into the front and get in the mix. And, like, the past few shows I've been to, it's like you go through, it's like a Best Buy checkout line. Have you guys seen this shit?
No, I haven't.
And it's just like everything along the way. And then you're just sitting there and you're packed in. No one wants to be there. It's the fucking worst. If you set up your venue like that, stop it.
What's bothering you now, Jim, at the concerts?
The people with the phone still, recording it,
Yeah.
in front of you, and they're holding their phone up. It's like, you know what? If you want to take a quick fucking picture, just take the picture.
Yeah.
All right, Black Sabbath's doing Paranoid. You're going to film that? Okay, where are you showing that the next day?
I know.
Are you
right?
bringing that in the office?
You don't
Or
even
wanna-
look at it.
You don't look at it. It sounds like shit over the phone. It's not good quality. So what are you doing?
It's crazy how
If something weird happens on stage, then maybe, I got to capture this moment or something like that. But I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't want the phone in my way when the guy's holding it up in front of me and I can't see because he's videoing.
Yeah.
You got another thing coming by Priest.
Yeah, and then they're not even watching the show.
They're no, they're just watching it through the phone.
I tell
Or
people,
people FaceTime now at a concert.
oh, FaceTime.
Yeah. So they put the phone.
Well,
up
that's what they're doing with Periscope now. They're Periscoping the whole show.
Oh,
so
really?
people online can watch it. They just watch. I watched the Pacquiao fight on Periscope. Me and Big J.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we paid. The American Comedy Co. paid for the fight, and it wouldn't come up on our screen. We were like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, I was on Periscope, and I go, oh, look at this. There are a million of the fight on here. And we just picked one and watched it perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah,
All
but-
right, then you know what? I take that back. It's Periscope. Why fucking pay $100 for that shit?
Yeah.
Dancing around.
What's your number one thing now, Dean?
Mine is still guys that smoke cigarettes, man. Like, like at my seat the whole show, they sit down and they sneak cigarettes, in the venue, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm like right here. And I'm like an old man when it comes to cigarettes. I don't care about drugs, weed, or whatever. I smoked cigarettes for years, and I'm one of those dicks. I quit, and it's just like, it just, for some reason, it just really lights me up. It's like, oh, God, it's just, it stinks.
Or if someone's talking to you when the band's on, they got cigarette breath. That's brutal, too.
Oh, man.
And they're in your ear, yeah.
I don't like when people talk to me at concerts at all.
No, I know, and I get that. Working on the show, people come up, they're, dude, man, that fucking episode with Rush, and I'm like, I can't hear you, man. Oh, he's screaming in my ear, he's spitting, he's drunk.
Yeah. I want to just watch the fucking band. I go to movies a lot by myself, and I go to concerts by myself now, just because I need some alone time. When you're in this biz, it's podcast, it's texting, it's tweeting, it's
Periscope, see? And then you're wondering what I'm bitching about it.
Yeah.
So you need some alone time.
I do. I need some alone time. So I slip into the movies on Mondays by myself at like 1 o'clock, and I just drift into a complete fucking just escape, man. And I love it, And when I go to concerts, I'm hoping that I can just drift into a corner, watch it, and go, oh, my God. The second they're done, I'm out of there, back home, and I'm like, that was fucking great,
Yeah.
I just need that.
I always love, too, there's always like a group of like 3 to 4, maybe 7 people that get floor seats and just have this disgusted look on their face that everyone's standing.
Oh,
it's like, what did you expect?
Just had that at the Stones. The girl was like, hey, sit down. It's like, sit down.
What are you doing? Go way up if you want to sit down.
No one else is sitting down. What do you think? I'm going to sit down and the whole place is going to catch on? Let's all sit down. That's no good for the band.
And then they sit with their arms. They're just like, I'm here, but I'm not enjoying this.
Imagine being a band and everyone's sitting down. You're like, we're not Simon and Garfunkel, man. Get the fuck up. Right?
I saw Frank Zappa back in the day, and he made everybody sit down in a venue.
Really?
It was a theater.
Well, that's different, though.
He stopped. He goes, look, I want everybody to sit down. Seriously, you have to sit down. I'm not going to play anymore. And
I dig that because his songs are real long and crazy, and it's more like a play, you know, which is cool. I get it. I brought this. I do a Instagram of
can we periscope that?
We're gonna periscope this too. Anyway, I do a thing called bootleg of the day. A lot of times on my I own over a couple thousand bootlegs, and like I always want to say, I wouldn't buy these if the band put them out. Believe me, got no problem giving the money to the band, especially Sticky Fingers just came out for the 19th time. Yes, I bought it. They got my Stones got my money again. But this one here, you can hear it on YouTube. It's AC/DC 1979, October, 16th, and it's in Maryland. It's the Highway to Hell tour. And remember back when we were young, they had that thing. You could listen to like King Biscuit Flower Hour.
Yeah.
That's what this is right here. So it's a perfect sound.
Oh, that's a King Biscuit Flower Hour.
But they took out that King Biscuit Flower Hour.
I'd like to hear that.
I'm going to play this for you. I'll loan it. Oh, burn it for give it to you, whatever. I was telling Rogan, burn it for you. He's like, burn it. Dude, I'll just grab it in the air on my phone. It was hilarious. Right. I sound like an old man. This is probably one of the coolest AC/DC shows going because it's right at the end of Bon. It's 79, October. He died in February of 80. So you have Highway to Hell, a lot of Highway to Hell on here. And you have Bon at the most outlaw on here. In between songs, the security guards are treating the crowd wrong, and he lets them have it. He's like, hey, you fucking assholes. I don't know what the security's doing to the crowd, but they are not rock and roll, and we are a rock and roll crowd.
Really?
You're saying shit like that, and you're getting classic Bon, like, I'll come down there and kick your fucking ass. And you're going like, he would. Like, that's all I'm thinking.
Those Australians know how to scrap, man. They fucking get in fights.
Oh, booze.
They don't give a shit.
Booze brawls and then kiss and make up like, I love you, man, after they just beat each other. So give it a listen, man. It's fantastic. And
what's it called?
It's it's called Living in the Hell, and I know it's on YouTube because I checked it out, and it's so fucking good. I gave this to Steve Simone. He gave it to his brother, and his brother lost his mind. This one and Live at the Old Waldorf in San Fran from '77 are two of the best AC/DC bootlegs of all time. You got Early with the San Fran show, and then this is towards the end. And his voice, this is what I love about it. You listen to a lot of rock bands, and the sick guy can't sing live. This guy nailing it.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking amazing, you know? God, so check it out. Thanks for coming down.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, Dean.
We're going to do some great shit this week. You and I, we're doing a Tom Green show tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can call into that. It'll be me, you, and Joey Diaz. We're doing the Roundtable of Rock. And then tomorrow night, is today Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, we're doing our live podcast at the Comedy Store with Rogan, Diaz, and Red Band, the Distortion Show. And that's going to be fucking great. Only a couple tickets left. Get your tickets for that. And then, you'll be back. Are you coming back?
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah.
Next week or something?
No, July, about a month. I'll be back.
Wow, cool. All right. I'm losing my voice, man. Spice, what do you got coming up?
I'm at E3 all week. If you're around, come say hi. We'll be doing a big show actually tonight. It's DLC with Jeff Kanata. If you want to check that out, it's probably already up by the time you're hearing this. And then I'm in Seattle around PAX weekend, which is another big video game show. I'll be doing shows there at the Underground. And then I'm doing a bunch of shows at the Out of Bound Fest in Austin, like Labor Day week. I'm bringing improv versus stand-up out there, and I'm doing a bunch of stand-up out there as well. And then, of course, just, L.A.
You got some shows coming up, Jim?
Yeah, Baltimore.
Dope. When's that?
June 25th through the 27th at a place called Magoobies.
Nice. I'll be in San Jose at the Improv this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then you and I will be in San Diego next week. We're doing...
Lestat's on Tuesday and The Wood on Wednesday.
Yeah, come see Spicer and I. We're hitting the San Diego road. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for the calls. Follow Florentine, Mr. Jim Florentine on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not on Periscope.
He's got, and we're going to get him on Periscope tomorrow on the Tom Green Show. Watch him just fucking be pissed off. Can't wait for that. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.